On-the-scene coverage of ACC 2015 is supported by Effient.
I'm Peter Block for On the Scene in San Diego at ACC 2015. With me, standing on my left, is Michael Mack, an old friend from Dallas, Texas. Michael needs no introduction. Michael has been involved with a partner trial from the very beginning and has been sort of an outstanding surgical colleague and compatriot in that trial. Michael, we now have 5-year follow-ups that you've just reported. So initially it looked very promising that surgery for these high-risk patients in TAVR was pretty much the same. What'd you find now that you have 5 years of data under your belt?
So we found out that the results that what we learned at 1, 2, and 3 years has held up to 5 years now. If we look at every parameter that you can imagine, from mortality, cardiovascular mortality, stroke, functional outcomes, including repeat hospitalization, New York Heart Association class, the results are identical at 5 years from those two therapies. The other interesting thing is that the echo outcomes are exactly the same. This is the first time that we've had 5-year echo results from both TAVR and for surgery, and both valves appear very durable with no signs of structural valve deterioration.
So let me ask a question, because it does have to do with the gradients across the valve. The surgical gradients tend to be a little bit higher. Is that true at 5 years as well, or do these valves deteriorate a little bit?
So the results are exactly the same at 5 years. Now, what you have to consider is that obviously we only have survivors at 5 years. And you can say that possibly could be the reason why they're exactly equal at 5 years. Patients with perhaps patient-prosthesis mismatch and higher gradients may not have survived. But be that as it may, if you look at it as a measure of valve durability, they're identical.
Looks good. So very quickly, just to remind everybody, the STS scores here were high, greater than 10. So these are high-risk patients, and yet we have equivalent outcomes at 5 years. Is there anything else negative about this trial that you can say now at 5 years?
No, I don't think that there's much negative that you can say, except for the fact of paravalvular leak. There was a significant instance of paravalvular leak that is an independent predictor of 5-year mortality, even when it's mild. And that has been noticed before, but that continues to be true. But I think what you need to take into consideration that this was a first-generation device. It was the initial experience of most centers with it, so there was a learning curve, and we weren't using CT scans to size the annulus at the time. So it's real, it's there. Hopefully it's better right now, but we don't know that yet.
So there it is, partner one at 5 year surgery versus TAVR, and it looks like it's pretty equivalent. Surgeons do very well. They did better than expected. The TAVR guys did very well, better than we hoped for, and overall pretty promising for TAVR. Would you agree?
I would totally agree, Peter.
Thank you, Michael.